What's going on, y'all? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody's doing well. So, couple of things before we get going here. First of all, we need to get this off. But we are back on Grandpa's farm today. So, first and foremost, this may be the last stream from the phone. Hopefully, we shall see. The point is, you can see we have 67,366. Man, oh man. We may or may not have spent some money. But big thank you to my buddy Corbin, who got this set up for us. We did a little redux, and we changed some things around, added some things, made it look good. We put in some dirt. Things are looking better. We also have dirty equipment that needs to be taken care of. If we run out here today, we are going to be doing some mulching. Thanks to, excuse me, our neighbor David, who you can see that red shed in the distance. That is our neighbor. And, well, we are going to be doing that today. We are going to be picking a couple of things up. But we got the soaring eagle. That needs to still be painted. We can take care of that. But we have quite a bit. So we've added some mods. We have taken care of some mods. We have done basically an entire redux of this to where, yeah. Basically, there was some things that, well, we're not making the game go well. So, let's hope this works. Now, if you missed last night, we talked Tigers. Quite frankly, I don't have time for them right now. I'll get to them this week. But it is Memorial Day Eve, and it's almost that time to start talking Lions. It's almost that time to start talking season predictions and everything else. If you are looking for certain mods, make sure you check the description. You'll find all the links there. But let's hope this works. Where do I want to start? Do I want to mulch? Oh wait, actually I gotta grab my truck. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I may or may not have repainted the trailer. We'll get there. So yeah. So, as I said, we are back on Grandpa's farm. We're going to be doing some tillage and basically going from there. I have no idea what just happened, but okay then. Interesting. All right, or we can just pull out in front of a truck. But we are talking Lions. We're going to talk the Jack Campbell contract. And look, I would say the question would be is how do you feel as the fan? That's what I want to know. Because look, going back to when it happened, it was the idea of Jack Campbell is going to replace Alex Anzalone. And look, Jack Campbell is your green dot. In my opinion, he helps you win. Period. He is your green dot. He is your supercomputer. He runs everything on the defense. Now, do I have a certain philosophy about paying certain players? You bet I do. But as far as it goes, 4 years, $81 million. And if you want me to be honest, I think John said it best. He's going to be here for the prime of his career. Now, do I believe this is a Super Bowl team? No, quite frankly, I don't. We can get into the minutia of that later on. But the point stands of he's locked in until the 2030 season. He's your supercomputer on defense. He's proved his worth. He's a great player. And here's the deal. It's very, very simple. Like I just said, I think John said it best. It is simply the fact that he's going to be here for the prime of his career. And I think that point matters more than anything. Now, yes, I can get into my philosophy of premium positions and all of that. And that is where I think we need to have the next conversation. And to me, as a fan of this team, as somebody who talks about this team, it really is going to come down to how you feel as the fan. Because here is my biggest fear with this team. This team is going to do what they do best. They're going to sign their players. And it's going to be this idea of last year. We're good. And I don't know. I kind of take issue with that. And the reason for that is who's up next. That being your tight end, Sam Laporta, coming off a back injury. You've got Brian Branch. Now, let me be very clear. I love BB. The guy is a Swiss Army knife when it comes to the defense. And it is very, very simple. It is the idea of that, look, he's coming off an Achilles. I don't know when he's going to return. We don't know if it'll be the first half of the season, the second half of the season, or if they even make the playoffs. Well, that's where we get into something even more interesting. And that is who's next. And that is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I think we all can agree, hey, we all love Jahmyr. Now, was the pick at the wrong spot? Honestly, it's debatable. And to me, it comes down to, does this team win a Super Bowl with Jahmyr Gibbs? But let me get to, here's what I believe they're going to do. And I don't have the dates right, so don't quote me on this. But remember when Rob the Bod came out and had his little podcast retirement tour, and it was all gonna work out and we're gonna pay our own guys, and just basically a boner party. Here is where I get a little worried. You are paying Jahmyr Gibbs from last season off 3 games. And I am going to go through the data, and you can tell me what you believe as the fan. And here is my thing. I truly believe it is going to be $22 million a year for a running back. So let's try and keep that in mind as we use the new case pressure washer and do a little bit of cleaning here. But here's the thing. I truly believe, based on the reports, based on everything that I continue to read, continue to see, it is going to be $22 million a season. So that's our bar we're going to work with. And let me be very, very clear. I freaking love Jahmyr Gibbs. I do. But let's remember something. He is a trinket on offense. And based off of last year, you are going to pay him $22 million a season because of 3 games. Now, this is the comment where, well, honestly, I get in trouble. Because people are not going to like this, but it's the truth. I'm not here to be friends with the teams. I'm not here to be friends with the social media teams and all that. No. I come on here, I tell you how the hell I feel, I base it off reports, I base it off of data, and we can have a conversation about it. It is very, very simple. I have said this from the start. I am going to be the voice of the fans. Now, mind you, this team has not won a Super Bowl. The ultimate goal in the NFL is a Super Bowl. And that's where I get to my main opinion. I don't just love the Jack Campbell contract. It is rooted in philosophy. As I have said, he is your green dot, supercomputer, fly around the field linebacker. I have absolutely no issue with them paying Jack Campbell. What I do have a problem with is this idea of that they are going to, in fact, say that with Jahmyr Gibbs, he earned it. Any fan can look at this and say it's based off of 3 games. Period. And in fact, let's start from the bottom, from the last game of the season, and you tell me, you as the fan tell me, if this is in fact worth $22 million a year. And again, keep in mind, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. But you have to look at the data. Rushing, 4.2 yards a carry, 0 touchdowns, 80 yards on 19 carries. Receiving, 1 touchdown, 11 yards per carry, 33 total yards, and 3 receptions. That was your last game on January 4th of 2026. It's not just that game. We're going through the whole schedule. Ah, yes. The infamous Pete Brosmer revenge game. I never even heard of this guy. He just shows up to the Vikings facility and plays. Mind you, in that loss on Christmas of 25, Pete Brosmer went 9 of 16 for 51 yards. Oops. Ah, yes. Rushing, 0 touchdowns, 2.4 yards a carry, 17 carries for 41 yards. Receiving, 2 receptions, as I run into the corn dryer. That's always wonderful. 23 yards, 11.5 yards per reception, and 0 touchdowns. My whole point is, when you look at the data, it does not support $22 million a season. Now again, I can say this until I'm blue in the face. It doesn't matter. You're going to hear what you want to hear anyway. My point is, running backs end up breaking down overnight, and they do not affect winning. Guys, they don't. Look at Derrick Henry. Let's go back even further. How about Chris Johnson? My entire point to you is very, very, very simply. In fact, let's talk about Kenneth Walker. Remember when Kenneth Walker was in a Super Bowl with the Seahawks? How did that work out? He's now on the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't just love the Jack Campbell contract. It is rooted in a philosophy of winning. Ah, yes, the infamous fan and DK Metcalf game. When you lost to the Steelers at home. That's not what I wanted. Not sure why that happened, but okay. Rushing, 7 carries, 2 yards, a 0.3 average, and 0 touchdowns. Guys, the data is telling you what it's telling you. About receiving, 1 touchdown, 6.6 yards per reception, 66 yards, and 10 receptions. How about the loss at SoFi to the Rams? 13 carries, 38 yards, 2.9 yards a carry, and 0 touchdowns. How about receiving? 4 receptions, 20 yards, 5.55 yards per reception, 0 touchdowns. Now, mind you, yes, I do believe that game plan matters. It does. I'm not telling you that it doesn't. But I am not going to sit here and tell you that it is smart to pay a running back $22 million a season. It is insanity. Cannot wait to start chopping some damn corn with this thing. how about, as I run into the shed, how about was this at home? Yes, it was. And I believe this was Monday night against Dallas. And this was, well, in fact, one of the games that you're looking at if you are paying Jahmyr Gibbs. 3 touchdowns, 3.6 yards a carry, 43 yards, and 12 carries. How about we go to receiving? 7 receptions, 77 yards, an average of 11 yards per reception. Okay, that's one game based off of the touchdowns alone. Yes. The infamous Thanksgiving game at home against your in-division rival who, to me, you have no respect for. Which I find comical, but that's just my opinion. A 31-24 loss at home against the Packers. 20 carries, 68 yards, 3.4 yards a carry, 0 touchdowns. Think about how many zeros I have already said in the games I have already mentioned. Alrighty then, we're spraying the shed. That's always fun. Alright, let's do the equipment shuffle while we go ahead and get going here. And then we can go ahead and get into some tillage. Since it is April, we are going to need to get into hay season so the slaughter can sit outside. Receiving 0 touchdowns, 6 yards. Why am I frozen? 6 yards per reception, or an average of 6 yards, excuse me. $18 total yards and 3 receptions. Get old Massey looking good now that she's friggin' washed up. Friggin' beautiful. Okay, let's go to the OT Miracle against the J-Man. Uh, Game number 2 that you are paying Jahmyr Gibbs $22 million a season. $15 carries, 219, 14.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. How about receiving? 11 of 45, 4.1 average per yards, and 1 TD. So there's game number 2. Yes. I believe this was Sunday night against the Eagles, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. The point is, 0 touchdowns, 3.2 yards per carry, and 39 yards, 12 carries. All right, apparently I can attach to the loader. Well, no wonder why. There we go. Much better. Freaking good looking tractor, man. Freaking smexy. Want you to let me know down in the comments. Are you team red or team green? Team blue? Team orange? What team are you when it comes to tractors? I gotta be honest, I like a variety. Blah, 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 all right, so 12 of 39, 3.2 yards per carry, and 0 touchdowns. Receiving 5 yards, or 5 receptions, 107 yards, 21.4 average, and 0 touchdowns. Yes. Then, of course, the revenge game that was until it wasn't. When you played the Commanders, rushing. Here's your third game. 15 carries, 142 yards, a 9.4, the hell am I saying? Come on. A 9.5 yard average per carry, 2 touchdowns. How about receiving? 3 of 30, 10-yard average, 1 touchdown. How about the loss versus the Vikings in game 1 when you had to play JJ McSizzle? 9 carries, 25 yards, a 2.8 average per carry. Let's try not to hit the shed. Oh, we got a snowblower. Freaking gnarly. Let's use the Oliver because this is probably going to go on the Baylor. And then the row flipper here, which I did forget to put in the description. If you are looking for it, go and check out BSL. That's BSL modding. If you're looking for that sheep barn that you see in the distance as well, that is from BSL. I will go ahead and put a link to their itch.io or their Patreon in the description. That is where you are going to find most of the mods that I get is from itch.io or Patreon. I plan to make a video on that very, very soon about why you should be using Patreon and itch.io mods. All right, receiving 3 of 3, a 1.0 average, and 0 touchdowns. How about the playoff game that was? Here is, in fact, number 4. The number 4 game you are paying Jahmyr Gibbs off of. 17 for 136, an 8-yard average, 2 touchdowns. We'll get to the receiving momentarily. I don't remember where this Baylor is from. Don't quote me on it. I believe it is the Deer Valley modding, which is another one that I forgot to put in the description. If you're looking for hay tools, trucks, anything of that sorts, I would highly, highly recommend DVF, which is Deer Valley Modding. Shout out to them as well. We will be using some of their mods on a couple of different series. In fact, I believe Corbin will be using their GMC in this series as well. All right, so Oliver is hooked up to the Baylor. Let's see if we can back this in here. Try not to hit the toolbox, even though I just did. That's always fun. And nice. All right. Probably gonna put the Ford on the rake because this thing just flies. And then the little case we can put on the row flipper. And go from there. Then I think we will be set up for haying. And then we will probably jump into some tillage, get that started, and then probably try and get to our first couple rows of hay. All right, so rake is washed up. This I'm going to put over to the pond for now. Definitely going to try to not put it in the pond, but what do you know? We shall see. Yeah, I think this will work on this. And for now, we will go ahead and, well, try not to hit the shed, but we'll see. Nice. All right. So, little cases on the road flipper. We got the, what is this? The 7230 with the loader ready to go. Slother is ready to go. Rake is ready to go. Baler is ready to go. Yes. Forgot about the Massey. If you do want to look for this cattle barn, I know a lot of players like using animals and cows and all that kind of stuff. That freestyle is from CM2, which is in the description. So if you would like to go ahead and find some of the best cattle barns in the game, go check out CM2. Let's get into receiving. 3 of 82, 27.3 average, 0 touchdowns. I believe this was a Monday night as well. It was either Monday night or Sunday night. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember which one it is. They all run together. I apologize. The point is 17 of 65, 3.8 average, 0 touchdowns. Blah, 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 blah. 1 reception, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 average. That was in a loss to the Chiefs. How about versus the Bengals? 12 of 54, 4.4 yards a carry, 0 touchdowns. Receiving 1 touchdown, 16.5 yards per reception, 33 yards and 2 receptions. Now let's just put this in the freestyle. All right, I know we still got to do the cedar. The cedar I am not going to worry about. I'll show you guys that here in a second. We'll get to Grandpa's truck and then go from there. Okay, so this is really interesting because of there is this new mod. I cannot think of the name. The name escapes me. I do apologize. The point is, if it is not under a roof, your equipment becomes dirty. Very, very interesting. So, probably not going to wash that since it's going to get dirty again. Obviously, Cooper mods for the Chevy. Good old Chevy. We do need to do some work on the greenhouse as well. Get that taken care of. All right, let's wash this. We will get into the field. We'll then get into some hay. All right, so we did the Bengals win. How about win versus the Browns? $91 yards, 6.1 average, 15 carries, 1 touchdown. How about receiving? 2 of 6, 3 yards per reception, into 0 touchdowns. Then we have, which I know for a fact this was a Monday night game. First of all, it's my grandpa's truck for a minute. Looking friggin' smaxy. Friggin' beautiful. We are probably going to use this on the bale trailer. I think. Maybe. I have not decided yet. But if you would like to see Grandpa's truck get resurrected, and let's try not to hit the house. There we go, looking good. But shout out Cooper Mods, best trucks in the game, looking so good. What do we got here? We got a water tank, which is full. And this is full. So let's do the greenhouse. And, uh-oh. Do I need to save again? Oh, no. What? Oh, but this one opens. Okay. Cool. Crazy. All right, so we have got melons, pumpkin, and watermelon. All right. That should be interesting. Let's go here and let's take a look at prices. And let's see what we got going on here. Where is it? Aha. Holy hell. 1,000? What? Okay. That's for melon. What about pumpkin? Oh, wow. 17? Sheesh. And all right then. Interesting. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Let's go with some pumpkin for right now. Sheesh. about to be making some dang cash, man. Sheesh. All right. Let's get this saved, and then we will go ahead and hop into the freaking Johnny Deere. All right, so this was the win on, I believe this was Monday night against the Ravens. 22 of 67, 3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Then receiving 5 of 32, 6.4 yards per reception, 0 touchdowns. By the way, has anybody noticed the game taking a little bit longer to save? Okay, like that just popped into my mind. I know I'm getting off track. I apologize. All right. How about week 2 versus the Bears? 12 of 94, 7.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Receiving 3 of 10, 3.3 yard average, 0 touchdowns. And then week 1 versus the Packers. 9 of 19, almost said 21. My goodness. 2.1 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. 10 of 31, 3.1 yards per reception, 0 touchdowns. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pure data. Those are his splits. For the 2025-26 season for Jahmyr Gibbs. So I want you to tell me, is that worth $22 million a year? And again, I'm going to say it. Very, very simply, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. But to me, in my opinion, and my philosophy, running backs do not affect winning. And very, very simply, I would rather pay Jack Campbell than Jahmyr Gibbs. Because Jack Campbell is your supercomputer, your green dot. He runs the defense. Jahmyr Gibbs is a trinket. All right. So, I have another question for you. What is your tillage philosophy? For me, mulching, then plowing, rock picking, and then fertilizing. I think this is going to work. Very nice. Very nice. So let's get to some mulching here. And then we do need to talk some game, which we will get into. So let me rewind on something real quick, and then we will go ahead and continue. So I have tried OBS. I have tried YouTube Creator Studio. I have tried Split. I think it's like Split X or something. I've tried it all. But I've never tried Streamlabs. I've tried, I think it was called like Meld. I have tried every single thing. Every single time that I try and do a live stream from my $2,000 computer, for some odd reason, my computer shuts down. I mean, it just all just crashes. And I'm kind of running out of options here. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, because I don't know what else to do. You know, I did the short. I talked about how basically last week I was just basically just bottled up, because I had it in my head that I was going to return on Monday, and it didn't work. I tried OBS. My computer shut down by the time I got logged in, because this is a multiplayer server. I almost said studio. My goodness. The point is, by the time I got logged in, by the time I got everything set up, ready to go, it was basically 1:30 in the morning. And I had to get up for work the next day, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. So then Tuesday comes around, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try it again. Let's see what happens. Let's try, I think it was like Meld. I think that's what it's called. I do apologize if that's not what it is called. The point is, I tried that. Nope, same thing. Computer restarts, and I'm just like, you know what? Okay, what am I doing? Then I'm like, okay, cool. So that didn't work. So I tried, I think it was like Split X or something, one of these apps, and tried it, didn't work. So I'm like, okay, it is now Thursday. I've already said I'm going to return. Let's go. YouTube Creator Studio, you're up. By the time I got on, it was 11 o'clock, and I'm like, you know what am I even doing anymore? And I was just like, you know what? No. So I made the short, and I said, you know what? This has been bottled up. Let's go. It's time. I gotta get on. I told my listeners I would return. Let's go. So that's when I got home last night, and I was like, you know what? Let's go. You've done enough bottling up. You've had a rough day. Hop on the game and let's go. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. No, I am not happy about having to do this from my phone because obviously of all my notes that I keep in my phone and just all that. So the main point of this is I need your guys' help. I need your guys' help because I simply do not want to do this from my phone anymore. Yes, I did get mad at myself, if I'm being honest. And I just was like, you know what? I don't know. I have no damn clue what to do. Excuse me. So I made a note and was like, look, talk about it on the stream tonight. Ask the people and see if they can help you. Because I'll be honest, I am not a computer whiz. I'm not. I'm a guy who likes to play Farming Simulator and talk sports. That's it. So, I need your guys' help. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. I mean, is it something on my end? Is it something, is it something with my computer? Is it the room I'm in? I have no idea. All I know is I need your guys' help. So if anyone could point me in the right direction, I will literally hug you. Like, this has been a nightmare. It is literally nightmare fuel for me. And yeah, I got upset. And I can't really help that because I have a certain standard. And look, I also am someone who lives with TBI, a traumatic brain injury. So that doesn't help matters any. I don't say that for sympathy. I say it because I'm honest. So, yeah. But very, very simply, I swear to God, I would literally be so happy if somebody could suggest how to fix it, if there is an app out there that is easy, just all of it. Because I'm not kidding when I say this. This is probably, and I swear on my grandmother when I say this, it is probably the 80th to 100th time I have rebuilt this farm. I have rebuilt this server, set up all the equipment, did the hours, talked about friggin', how this series is going to evolve, how, right now this is just V1, just all of it. And it is turned into a nightmare. But I'm also somebody who refuses to give up, because this is something I truly want to do, because I feel like with you guys who listen and you guys who like and all of that, that this could be a very, very interesting channel. And it's just, I'm trying. I'm sitting here trying, and it just, like I said, it's turned into a nightmare. So if anybody has any suggestions about, hey, try this site, or hey, try this, or try that. Like I said, I will literally hug you, because I simply have just, I have wanted to quit so many times, but I can't bring myself to quit, because of, I'm not that type of person. This is something I want to do, and it's an extension of my real job, and just all of it. And I'll be quite honest. I've already talked about the TBI, and that's me being honest. But I also live with severe depression, severe anxiety, and honestly, just sitting here, hanging out, talking game, talking sports with you guys helps that tremendously. And nothing else in the world, at least to me, right now, in this moment, matters. Period. So, yes, it does suck that I have to do it from the phone. I do not want to do it from the phone anymore. I want to try and get something on the computer that can help. And I just, that I want to try and be better. So, maybe I need a whole new computer. I don't know. I'm not a computer guy. But just, if you have a suggestion, put it down in the comments below. I would be literally forever grateful for you. Straight up. And I'll be honest too, like, a lot of the times that when I'm posting shorts, I literally try on those nights to stream. But then the inevitable happens, and I have to restart my computer. Well, I don't have to really restart my computer, it restarts by itself. But the point is, I have to restart my computer, then I gotta relog in, and it just, like I said, it's become a nightmare. And after this past week and it all being bottled up and wanting to get back and wanting to get back, I just said, you know what? No, I got to roll with it. Do it from the phone. It's not going to be great, but, just do it. Just take the step and just go with it. Because the thing is I mean, we got to talk Tigers, we got to talk Pistons, and there's just so much to talk about. And it's just one of those things that I'm not like, I don't like it when it gets bottled up like that, because it makes me want to do like a 10-hour stream. But the problem with that is that unfortunately I have to rest, and I have to, get up and go to work like you guys do, and all that, and it just yeah, it bothers me, and it's just one of those things. So, and even if it's just one person who wants to help, I, bro, I would literally hug you. I mean, my God, the months that I was gone with football season and trying to do instant reactions and just all of it, man. So again, if you have an idea of what's going on, if you have uh a suggestion, if whatever the case may be, if you can help me, I would be so grateful. Like honestly, I would trade likes and views and just all of that to just have one person help me and be like, hey, here's what you need to do. Try this, and let's go from there. So like I said, even if it is just one person, you literally have no clue of how grateful I would be, because it would just be the most helpful thing ever. It literally would. I'm not even kidding. And yeah, so, and like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's if it's the software, or the drivers, or whatever. But no, bro, I would be legitimately grateful. I'm not even kidding. So, if you did miss the first stream back, thank you to everyone who viewed. Thank you to everyone who checked in, everyone who liked, commented. You are appreciated more than you will ever know. And I'll say it again, and you will probably hear me say this in a million different streams. Very, very simply, you guys make the channel. Period. Amen. End of story. Yes, of course, I play the games, I come up with the questions, come up with the topics, and all that. My entire point is, you guys do the heavy lifting, and I am legitimately grateful for every single one of you. All right. So, before we talk game, obviously, Farming Simulator 25, if you do play 25, or 22, or 19, or maybe even 17 or 15, leave a comment on which game you play. And I want to hear from, like I said, I want to hear from the people. Very, very simply. Alrighty then. Well, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and freaking or not. Let's try this. Okay. How do I do this? Aha! All right. Set that to tillage. And let's at least do the headlands. And let's go ahead and do that. And then let's get into a little bit of hay work. All right. Let's set that down. Let's get it to save. And we shall go from there. So yeah, we talked about the Jack Campbell contract. Really like the deal. Very, very nice deal. But like I said, it's based on philosophy. He is your green dot supercomputer who runs the defense. We got into who is next. I went through the data with Jahmyr Gibbs, and you, the people, need to tell me if you believe he is worth $22 million a season. The data is there. So, quick Google search, or if you want to go ahead and listen, you are more than welcome to. And we are frozen again. Alrighty, that is wonderful. We talked about Sam Laporta. We talked about how, very simply, he is coming off of back surgery. We talked about Brian Branch. BB coming off of an Achilles. Not great, Bob. Not great. Then, of course, we went from there. So let's talk about the game. So obviously, if you missed last night's stream, it is up. Go check it out. We talked Tigers. It was fun. It felt so nice to be back. And I cannot wait to start pumping out some content. I do plan to do a welcome video of some sorts at some point. I just have not figured out how I am going to do it. So that will be quite interesting. Because I am very, thorough, I guess would be the right word. I don't really know. The point is, it is that, simply put, it is talking about the channel, talking about myself, talking about a couple of the people who will be on certain series with me, like Kenny and Corbin and my lady and just all of that. Very, very simply, but like I mentioned last night, this series is truly going to differ from all of my other series. And the reason why I say that is because of this series in specifically is going to evolve over time. And what I mean by that is that it is going to, well, right now we are in V1. And very, very simply, as I've said, we've probably built the farm over 100 times. And sometimes you just don't like it, and you got to switch some things up. But of course, there will be mainstays, like the greenhouse, like the cows, the stave silos you see in the distance. There's going to be plenty of different mainstays. But what I say when I say that we will evolve is meaning when we get to a V2, that means we will go through and we will go ahead and switch up some buildings. We will move things around. We will go ahead and obviously change equipment. Um, Obviously, we will evolve as the series goes on. But like the corn dryer, the staves, which I don't quote me on that, but I believe the staves are from CM2 as well. Um, Very high detail like that. Then, of course, there is the bale shed, which will be a mainstay. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get some haying equipment out to the field because we are gonna need to start on hay because I would like to get cattle. Um, but no, I mean there's going to be things that evolve with the series as it goes on. Um, it is going to be interesting. The little Ford will be a mainstay. And speaking of this sign, there is a reason why I picked this specific sign. It is the Soaring Eagle Dairy. The reason why I picked that is because of, well, I live in the state of Michigan, and, well, I tend to go to Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Shout out to them for all their amenities. Um, so that is why I picked that. And then obviously it is the fact that we talk about uh, mainly the Michigan teams. So yeah, that is a big reason for that. But obviously, as I said, the series will evolve. Um, we will eventually change the house, which is here on the map when you do purchase this farm. There is this shed as well, which I don't think there's nothing in here. Yeah, there's not. Okay. But we will change the sheds. We'll change the trucks. Um, we will buy certain things, which can't wait. Especially with a certain screenshot that was taken earlier. Can't wait for that because, well, I would assume that, well, you guys are going to have a good time with it, and so will I. All right, I think we don't need the baler yet, so we're all good on that. I think we can hop in the slother and get freaking going on some hay. But yeah, this is going to be plenty different from the rest of my other series that I do have in the works because of everything that we're going to be doing, man. Honestly, it is going to be a good time. Why are we not cutting? Maybe we need to save. Alrighty then. Yippee. Mine. goodness, we have been going for an hour and 30. Sheesh. But no, like I said, this is going to be a very, very fun series. I mentioned earlier that, my kids will be involved with this series. My lady will be involved with this series. Certain people I work with will be involved with this series. So it is going to be fun. And look, I'm really looking forward to it because, all right, why is this not cutting? Well, alrighty then. So obviously that header is not going to work. Interesting. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just delete that. And, oh, there's a fertilizer spreader. Cool. Let's go 12. That should work. All right. Hop in the slother. But no, we'll learn as we go along. But yeah, we're going to have. I mean, I believe we're at 386 as far as mods go. So that should be interesting. I think this is the only series that will have that many mods. So yeah, there's going to be quite a bit. All right. We are cutting. It's not great, but it's kind of working, I think. Maybe. I mean, there's a sloth, so we'll go with it, see what we can do, and then we will go from there. But yeah, I do think next episode we will go ahead and use that screenshot that Corbin took. Look, the other challenging part with this series is going to be everybody getting on at once. We all have different schedules. So, that is going to be very, very interesting as far as that goes, because that's going to be the challenge. And eventually we will get to helping each other out and all that. So, but no, I mean, this is going to be this is going to be a long form type of series where it's going to be about, how big can we get, how big can we upgrade, so on and so forth. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope you guys are too, because to be honest, I really look forward to this. I don't just come on here and just do the whole nonsense routine. I talk about sports, I talk about the game, and I put energy, I put passion into it, and yeah, I've got some very very um, big goals to attain, but I think that's the challenge for every YouTuber is you you come into this with a certain goal, and it evolves over time. Alrighty then, I guess we're going back this way. Interesting. So obviously we have a lot of hay to cut. We're probably going to need to upgrade our mower because, well, the little head is not going to go over too well. Excuse me. But no, I mean, I talk about this as a extension of my job, and basically it is, and I know it's different for everybody, and I'm cool with that. I'm not bothering nobody. I ain't trying to get on anybody's nerves or do the unboxing routine or whatever. I am just a simple man who loves playing this damn game and talking sports. Period. End of story. So I will be back this week. We are going to try and get over to the first gen series. And then I think I haven't really decided what the other one is going to be later in the week. I want to say maybe maybe the mine series or Nebraska. Buying a farm in Nebraska, man. So I've got a ton of ideas, and obviously there's certain people that I watch that eventually I would like to work with and team up with and collab with and all that, and make a series with them and all that. And that's just one of the goals that I have. But the main goal here is just have fun, talk game, and talk sports. And to each their own. That's the way I look at it. I ain't here for talking bull jive and all that. No, I come on here. I give you energy. I give you passion. I'm honest. I'm real. I'm raw. I talk about who I am, and I don't deviate from it. It's very, very simple. So, and like I said, I don't bother nobody. So It be what it be, man. But no, I'm really, honestly, I'm really looking forward to all the series. But I would just say that, this one is going to be different. Not just because of the people involved, um, but because of the simple fact of, look, we are going to evolve as time goes on, and we are going to go from there. And as I said, we're going to change up the buildings. We're going to do all of those different things, and all that. So, but anyway, I am going to go ahead and keep on cutting here. But I think this is where we are going to call it for the day. We are going to try and get some tillage done on here. And some haying done on here. And then hopefully, I don't really have a plan yet, but if you guys do have, if you guys do want to see a certain series, please, of course, let me know. Um, we'll see how it goes. I know that Corbin is pretty busy with his own life right now, so I don't know um, if he's going to be on here soon, but when he does, we will, of course, go ahead and help him out with his farm and all that, and we will have some fun. But no, we will obviously get back to this series at some point in the near future, and then we will go from there. Um, but the main goal for right now is obviously figuring out the problem. So if you have a suggestion for me, because as I said, this has been a complete nightmare. If you do have a suggestion for me um, regarding OBS, regarding Streamlabs, um, maybe, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it is the computer. I have no idea. Um, that is my main goal right now. Like I said, I would literally trade views and likes and comments and just all of it to have one of those apps work. One. So, yeah, we're going to call it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day. I hope you guys have a great start to your week. And we will be back this week. We got to talk Tigers because boy, oh boy, did AJ step in it. And then we have got to talk some Pistons. I got to get on Doug a little bit because Doug, well, he stepped in it too. And then obviously it's farming, it's mining, it's buying a farm in Nebraska, it's bringing back the Blast from the Past series. I do eventually want to get into why I think Patreon and itch.io is uh, probably your best chance at the high quality mods. Um, but we can have a discussion about it and then go from there. So I love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Later.